The Advanced Enterprise RPA Process template enables enterprises to deploy and centrally administer a large number of UiPath robots across the enterprise. In the conventional approach, application settings are managed using a configurations Excel file co-located on the robot machine. For small-scale operations, this is the easiest method of deployment, as each of these files can be administered and deployed to the individual robot machines with relative ease. But as the number of robots increase, this scenario becomes impractical, as managing configuration settings at such scale becomes difficult and potentially error-prone. Now let us look at the first scenario wherein automations built using the Advanced Enterprise RPA Process template have been set up. Here, we have a large number of robots deployed across the enterprise and connected to a single or multi-tenant orchestrator. In this case, the configuration entries from the traditional Excel file have been moved into a centrally located database such as a Microsoft SQL Server or Amazon RDS. In this method of deployment, the robots use a DSN-based connection installed on the host machine by the administrator to connect to the database without having first-hand knowledge of the underlying database technology. If these robots are grouped by the functions they perform, then all of their settings are commonly governed at a single location. Any changes required to their settings are executed on the central configuration database and are propagated down to the robots during their next run. The second scenario shows a couple of robots connected to the orchestrator. The number of robots shown in the illustration have been minimized for clarity. Here, the automations run by the robots first acquire a fully formed connection string stored as a known asset in the orchestrator. Once the connection string is acquired, all automations connect to the central configuration database using this fully qualified connection string to retrieve their application settings. Note that the right type of library required to establish the connection to the database is built into the automation by the RPA developer. Regardless of the deployment method used, the configurations required by the automations can be managed and administered centrally without having to deal with a large number of configuration Excel files. So the question remains, can I still use the traditional configuration Excel file? The answer to that question is a resounding yes. Automations built using the Advanced Enterprise RPA template can read application settings from different configuration sources, and that includes the traditional Excel configuration file. Included in the template is a master configuration file that tells the automations where to look for their configuration settings. And these configuration sources can either be a remote enterprise database, a local MS Access database, or the traditional configuration Excel file. Therefore, the template continues to support the original functionality of using the configuration Excel file despite the enhancements. That said, the current version of the template can read configurations from only one configured source. Future versions may support loading configurations in a hybrid manner, such as a combination of a database and the traditional Excel file. You don't have to be a large-scale enterprise to build applications that have the look and feel of an enterprise-grade automation. Regardless of the size of your business, the Advanced Enterprise RPA Process template enables you to easily configure, deploy, and administer UiPath automations for your business.